Finally, I have a message for President Trump from, well, one Republican to another. This is a disaster, and you can still fix it. You made a promise to protect the LGBTQ community. Call me.
Let's start here. That is a man in a dress taking hormones. That is a man in a dress taking hormones. That is not a woman. And Bruce Jenner did not become a woman simply because he feels that he is a woman. He remains a man. I just want to set the record straight. But he is upset with President Trump because President Trump rescinded a ridiculous order, guidelines from the federal government that completely changed the meaning of sex, that biological sex in our laws, biological sex in Title IX, which was put in place in particular to protect women, girls in schools and to give them rights and develop their sports and things like that. No, where it says sex, that now means gender identity. So if you can't discriminate based on sex, that means you can't discriminate based on gender identity. So under the Department of Justice Obama guidelines that came in his last year in office, by the way, that potentially states could be penalized, could lose billions of dollars of funding if they didn't allow a 17-year-old boy who identifies as a girl to play on the girls' sports team and to share the girls' locker room and shower stalls and bathroom. It's this complete outrage and nothing less than outrage. And all the Trump order did was to push this back to the states and say, hey, work out something, hear me, that is in the best interest of everyone. You have one kid struggling. My heart goes out to the kid. My heart goes out to the family. A 6-year-old boy who believes he's a girl. From what I've read, numerous studies indicate that as high as 80% or even higher of kids like that, when they get past puberty, will no longer identify as the opposite sex. But right now, the kid's struggling. Our heart goes out to him. But you don't turn the world upside down for that kid. You don't put the 6-year-old boy who thinks he's a girl into the girls' bathroom with other 6-year-old girls and confuse them. I thought Johnny was a boy. Now Johnny is Jane. I don't understand. They don't need tolerance. They need to be told boys are boys and girls are girls, and Johnny is confused. So be nice to Johnny, but he's confused. Let the school have a place if you need, just like you have special facilities for handicap. This is some type of handicap, mental, emotional, some kind of handicap, all right? We're not talking about someone that's biologically intersex. That's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of those who identify as transgender. We're talking about people who are biologically chromosomally males or females and who simply believe they're the opposite of what they are. So just like you have a bathroom for handicap, you'd have special accommodations for someone who's blind, someone who struggles with being transgender, they have gender identity issues, then do your best to accommodate them, but don't impose that on the rest of the students. CNN Democrat Chris Cuomo took issue with this and said via Twitter, say about a girl who had a problem with this, I wonder if she is the problem or her overprotective and intolerant dad. Teach tolerance. Tolerance is a two-way street, Mr. Cuomo. Tolerance is a two-way street. How about all the other kids who are negatively affected? How about the many girls who have been traumatized by the presence of a boy in their bathroom, in their locker room, next to them in a shower stall? How about all of those? How about the cases that are going to court over this, over girls being traumatized? Isn't tolerance a two-way street? And since when is it tolerant to tell a girl you just have to get used to seeing a boy's private parts in your locker room? Since when is that tolerant? As others have said, that used to be indecent exposure. Well, it gets even crazier when this simply becomes whatever you think it is. That if I think I'm a girl, I'm a girl. If I think I'm Chinese, I'm Chinese. If I think I'm 7 foot tall, I'm 7 foot tall. If I think I'm a child, I'm a child. Well, why not? If I think I'm black, then I'm black. If gender is what I perceive it to be, then why not other things? Well, this comes up in a dialogue between Tucker Carlson on Fox News and Zach Petkonis from the Democratic National Committee, a senior advisor. Listen to this enlightening dialogue.
The core question is what constitutes male and female. And the implication of these guidelines that Obama put in place is that a man is someone who says he's a man, and a woman is someone who says she's a woman. You get to decide your gender. There's no biological anchor to sex anymore. It's all determined by the individual. So my obvious question for you is, how do I know if a person's male or female? Is there some other absolute standard that people have to meet to be male or female, other than what they say.
One's gender identity is enough to show what gender they are. And so if you're confused about that, I mean, I leave that, to your level of enlightenment and
No, this is, it's not about enlightenment. It's not about moral.
Enlightenment. Oh, it's enlightened when Bruce Jenner tells us that he's a woman, and the enlightened ones now refer to him as she. That's enlightenment. Perhaps it was enlightenment when Rachel Dolezal said she was black. Maybe we should refer to her as a black woman now, because after all, that's her identity. If you can be transgender, why not transracial? Why not trans-species? It goes on and on. This is not about enlightenment. This is about rational thinking. And then to add insult to injury, listen to this. California, the state of California, has created its own travel ban, and they said this: if you are in a public university as a student, then you are not allowed to have state-funded travel to, quote, anti-LGBT states. That would include states like Mississippi and North Carolina and some others. Now, listen to this statement. Inclusivity and diversity are fundamental values of the California State University. Therefore, we are being discriminatory against all those who don't see the world the way we do. Therefore, we are being exclusive, and we are being the opposite of diversity. It's my way or the highway. If you don't agree with us, you're out. You can't use state funds to travel to any of these states. This is ridiculous. This is what would happen in some kind of dictatorship. This is the opposite of being tolerant, inclusive, diverse. But what else do you expect when the whole world is turned upside down?